Nigeria's computer village, presently situated in Ikeja axis of Lagos, is arguably the biggest information communications technology ICT market in Africa. Yes, serving as the ICT solution center for Nigeria as well as Africa, the computer village is a highly patronized market for a wide range of technology products and ranging from phones, laptops and other gadgets. It is also the hub for product parts and repairs of gadgets, as several people work and make a living at the computer village. As part of efforts to transform Lagos into a mega city, the Lagos State government has decided to relocate Computer Village to an ultra-modern 40 billion naira information and communications technology ICT business park sited at Katangwa, Lagos. That's Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway. The move, according to the government, is aimed at providing a more conducive, business-friendly environment in order to address the challenges created by the market in Ikeja. With the contribution of the market, which is estimated at $2 billion annually to Nigerian economy, the big question now is what will be the impact of the prospect and of course prospect of the relocation to the Lagos economy and of course the entire ICT ecosystem. Well, I introduced him earlier. He's the president of the Computer and Allied Products Dealers Association of Nigeria, CAPDAN, Mr. Adeni Ojikutu, also a friend of the house. Thank you very much. It's good to see you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yes, but that is true. All right, let's start with this entire issue of relocation. Take us through where we are and the position of your members and, of course, traders all around.
Okay. Thank you very much. It's always my delight when I talk about progress. And sincerely, there is no way any nation can move or can compete going to the new world without thinking or forward thinking in the direction of ICT. And if Lagos State government, 4 executive councils from 2006 during the time of His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu to the time of Governor Raji Fashola to the time of Governor Ambode and the present Governor Sanwo-Olu, that each of these 4 executive members could see the future of this sector, not just them as executive heads, as governors approving, but the executive council is supporting this progress and this forward-thinking move that ICT, as it is for Lagos to be the commercial nerve of Nigeria, West Africa, and the biggest, states in terms of economy. That is the 5th largest economy in Africa. For Lagos to be at that front, burner, it must think ICT and it must project the future. Now, the prospect, as you put it, is that will any country be able to compete without having a very vibrant sector in ICT? The answer is no. So it has been conceived by successive governments of Lagos. At initial, there is this proverb that says that change is the most constant thing in life. Exactly. At initial stage, the way people see change and change management, there was, people will be like, why the movement, XYZ. But going forward, when you look at other climes, how do they do in South Africa? How are they doing in Cairo? What are the things they doing in Malaysia? Those are developing countries like ours. So what are we doing? Computer Village is the biggest in terms of this sector, but have we been able to put it together in terms of, does it really look like, does it stand or look the potentials in terms of environment and the physical look? The answer is no. The human beings, the qualities are there, but the environment does not speak for what it should be. Now, the government has thought of that. People were seeing it from different angles, but now everybody is, seeing that vision that for you to be able to come up with the full potentials, you have to change that environment of what we have today to a better hub that will be of world class. And that is to say that presently when you look at environment, you see a mall It's called shopping plazas, right? The shopping plazas, you see 40, 30 generations because generating sets in front because everybody wants to power their own source. These are not things, these are things that nowhere in the world is done. I tell you, nowhere. Even up to the Republic of Benin. You can't see places that people, 40 or 50 occupants will be in a building and generators will be out. Everybody will have each. So these are things that people like us that are forward-looking saw and were able to and everybody is now coming to the realization that, okay, for us to move forward, we need to have a hub that would be, when they talk about ICT Business Park or New Computer Village, we'll be talking about, okay, these developed countries. We'll be talking about SA, we'll be talking about, Egypt, Cairo, we'll be talking about Silicon Valley, we'll be talking about Bangalore in India. These are places that ideas, young generation come around together with, with a tech company, and from that, tech companies will begin to develop ideas, develop products, and some of those products are the things that we consume.
Yes.
So how come we don't leapfrog from being a consumer economy, a consuming nation, to producing nation? Let me tell you some of the skills that resides in this present computer village. The point is, any gadget, mention any brand. I won't mention a brand on your program, but mention any brand in the whole world that has to do with hardware and even the software that is applied on them, that somebody, an average technician or an engineer in computer village will not be able to solve. There is none. I'm saying it, that newer version of equipment that wants on any brands, tablets, mobile phones, servers and all that. If these young people can generate their own domesticated local technology solutions, because some of those solutions are not conventional. They will tell you, some people will tell you, okay, something happens to your board, they will read something online and they will practicalize another solution, and this is where over 125,000 solutions are provided every day, just computer village alone. So if we have this quality, government has seen that drive, that this industry, this sector is something they must cash in with. Presently, the present computer village is not owned by government, but government is saying, okay, move to the next level, move so that you'll be able to compete with other climes. And when you talk about those cities I've mentioned, those technology hubs that I mentioned, and that is where everybody is thinking forward to. How do we become not just some consuming nation, but the talents that we have in these young people? Some didn't go to school. How do Lagos in particular capitalize on them and use to develop this sector?
Let me ride on that fact that you made in your first point, talking about change is not very easy. You know how it is, Nigerians, not just Nigerians, it's a general thing. Now, how are the traders reacting to this? And of course, one way or the other, I must tell you that movement will involve finance. So what are they thinking about this? How are they reacting to this?
Majorly, the part of the fact that there is no way presently where people are, they pay.
Okay.
Definitely, if you own a business environment, you pay for that environment if you are not the owner of the property. Now, what this is saying is you are moving. So when you are moving, the next place you are going, definitely you need to pay some consideration. But for it to be convenient for people, there are people that are partnering, that people will just ordinarily not use their business capital. Some of the people there are not just SMEs, they are micro businesses, MSMEs. So when they are micro businesses, how do this industry or the movement will not affect their capital? That is why some commercial banks are coming on board, that people will ordinarily pay as low as possible per month to own.
Okay.
So it is rent to own plan. Not basically they are expecting MSMEs, not small micro businesses. Some people, their capital is not as much as maybe some 5-10 gadgets, and they sell accessories. So you don't expect them to look for money to buy properties.
Exactly.
So what it is it is rent to own kind of arrangement. So you just pay and you pay instrumentally for the average of maybe 5-6 years, and you become a owner of those properties.
I'm also interested in environments for knowledge transfer, for maybe like manufacturing, assemblage. Are we going to be having, there should be an opportunity for that in that big environment, since you're talking about 10,000, about 15 hectares of land. So what more would we have in that beautiful space? Thank you very much.
Some of us, the reason why we have keyed into this project basically, and the direction of the government, is not easy to convince the people. It's not easy. When even customers now, you have to convince them that, okay, come on, the next location is just 10 minutes drive, and BRT gets to that location and all that. How it is that this new, move, the advantage majorly is that it's going to provide not just people coming and say, I just want to repair. Those people that are repairing, that if anything happens to a gadget, they could remove the board, check what is happening to it, and fix it. Those people will have opportunity for incubation. That is to say that if somebody can pieces an equipment, somebody probably that didn't go to school, and he could fix anything on it, and the equipment starts working again for another 5-6 years, that is that person has a basic knowledge. So how do we leapfrog from just repairing to manufacturing? So the advantage of a park, or let's say a Silicon Valley or Technology Valley or Technology Hub, is that the advantage of cluster, that is a technology term that are used for coming together of technologies, people, innovators, creators. So the moment they are together and there is a structure in terms of training, incubation hubs, partnering of ideas, you will now see that it is not just for trading or for buying and selling. Basically, it will now be for idea creation, innovation, invention, as a matter of fact, not just for hardware solutions, but even software solutions. And you now see that, manufacturers would rather want to come close, because we are talking about the network of resellers and the people that has the network to market anything in Nigeria. So most of these OEMs that are not probably manufacturing, or that they don't have a base in Nigeria, will now begin to think about, okay, how do we come to Nigeria to create value for that economy? And Lagos State, for making this move, I want to say that the economy of the state, I don't want to give the figures but with the projection, is going to have a very, very positive, impact on the economy of Lagos, because already people from western coast of Africa, they come to present Computer Village to, do business. They rely on them that, okay, what they will get in Lagos will be rather cheaper for them than to either import directly to their own countries. So if there is now a hub, there will be more synergy between the OEMs, that is the original equipment manufacturers, and the people, the business people in the new ICT business park. That is to say that the prices will reduce, the synergy and the trust, when there is structure, and the environment. When you look at some of these things, don't look elsewhere, look at Dubai. There is no way you want to do any ICT business in Dubai, in the list. These are countries that are not as big as Nigeria, in all ramification. Now, these countries have been able to move their own ICT trading and businesses away from the way it is, or it is run presently in this Computer Village. They've moved it to, well-structured environments. So you can imagine if we have 8,000, retailers that has connection all over the world to either bring manufacturers to Nigeria or bring people that will give them products directly. That means that Nigeria economy will be boosted. Lagos economy would, benefit immensely from it, and all other, 6 countries in West Africa will have a direct benefit. So automatically, apart from job creation, the job creation part of it is that presently, you see that it's difficult for you to see somebody that has something to do, or that can make money, or that can repair anything, that will go into crime at the end of the day in the evening. That is the aspect of job creation and crime reduction. So this move by the government is a laudable one, and going forward, it's something that by the time it is achieved, I want to tell you that all other states in Nigeria will probably want to emulate Lagos. But people should understand, these are things that this project started from 2006, from Asiwaju's period, and each of the governors are supporting it. That's why we should give credence to the successive governors of Lagos and the present governor. To us, we want development. People like me, what we want is development. So when you develop the ICT industry, remember 2019, the GDP, everything went down.
Look at ICT was the only sector that was able to help Nigeria even come
ICT
back.
Begins to at 17 points. It grew at 13.12 in 2019. In 2020, 15.05%. And when you see these things, that is to say that this sector, anybody that neglects it, either as a state or a nation, the person is calling for doom. We just had an interview with the oil and gas people. Oil and gas will cease to be the order of the day in terms of economy and whatever. The sector that is going to determine a country that is successful is ICT sector. So we must take it serious, and as it is, it's a very joyful thing that something like this is coming to bear. At that time, by the grace of God, God's spare our life, you now see number of people that will be like, okay, I want to be providing solutions, I want to be writing, softwares. They won't need, the e-commerce expo space is not scratched up to today. And I tell you, if we take this sector serious, it's just only little that government needs to do. It will not take people's job away. It will rather increase the number of jobs that are provided.
Now let's wrap up because it's really getting very interesting. You've touched on ICT's contribution to GDP and all of that. So what will be your message to traders, business people, OEMs, all of them that partner with you, that you work together at the market at this time? And is there a timeline for this relocation at the moment?
Yeah, there is a timeline. It's going to be about 24 months. That's like 2 years. So, and the government is really trying to make sure that they achieve it as fast as possible. That's one. Two, my advice to people, and not just people in the ecosystem, policymakers, federal, state, local governments, that the Lagos state government is standing firm on this because it's their vision. Ikeja local government, that is our host community, they are supporting this as well. Because, okay, maybe because the chairman is a PhD holder, he understands the concept, and a lot of other people that can see this vision. So the moment people hear it, they know what they see abroad, and they know what it can look like if we are able to do it first in Lagos. So as it is, we want all stakeholders, not just the people in Computer Village are already on, they are keen in, everybody is eager to move, and everybody is eager, to take the most advantage. Apart from that all stakeholders, policy, the federal, the state, should look at this direction. And it's a general advice that as a nation, we need to sit down with the critical stakeholders to understand the direction. Imagine if 8,000 direct SMEs or MSMEs are relocated. They want to double, and they want to double their business. They want to double their contribution, their growth in business. And the other portfolio businesses, portfolio businesses, people that does not even have a business, but they have a registered company and they go about to sell ICT products, either the software or the solutions. So these are things that we need to, properly take and key into. And when it is done, you will see that automatically the issue of lack of employment generation will reduce. The era of saying I'm looking for a job, I've gone for BSc, somebody came and I advised the person that, okay, you're saying you don't have a job, you did a social science course, okay, go and take a 2-month program on e-commerce marketing, And before she finishes that program, she got an employment to earn like maybe 180,000. Because if you are employed today, you know how to do e-commerce. And the company you are working for, as a youth, is you are making sales for them immediately because you know how to push those products. Yeah. And they are seeing your growth. The era of using agogo, you know, bells in the market to sell is gone. It's technology, and this is the sector that is going to determine any country that, you know, that is ready to move forward.
A very interesting conversation. Are you able to even convince me too? And I see that that's the way to go. Thank you so much, Mr. Adeni Ojikutu, Mr. President, Computer and Allied Products Dealers Association of Nigeria, CAPDA. Thank you for spending your afternoon with us on this very important topic.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
All right then.
Thank you.
All right.